Welcome back to Primetime News. Usain Bolt is okay. Jamaicans and other fans around the world got a scare this afternoon when news broke that the triple Olympic record holder had met in a motor vehicle accident.
The crash happened along the Vineyard section of the toll road shortly after 1 o'clock. Bolt was driving.
He had two female companions when it happened, and they too escaped with minor injuries. Nadine McLeod has the details.
This is what's left of the BMW M3 motor car the world's fastest man steered into a ditch this afternoon. The vehicle had been one of Bolt's many rewards for his exploits in Beijing. The track star was lucky. He escaped with only minor scrapes, and so did the two female friends traveling in the car. The police say Bolt somehow lost control of the vehicle, which flipped over, fell into a ditch and landed upside down. When our news team arrived at the scene, the police were trying to retrieve the car. Bolt received minor scratches from thorns he stepped on when exiting the vehicle. He was treated at hospital and released. Our news team caught up with him outside the emergency ward. His wholesome presence bringing relief to many anxious fans. One of the women in the car reportedly received minor head injuries. The other female also received minor scratches. Up to late this afternoon, they were still at hospital. Back at the accident scene, eyewitnesses say it was raining heavily when the car crashed. The police believe the weather, along with speeding, might have contributed to the accident. It happened shortly after 1 o'clock, about 300 meters from the Old Harbour Vineyards Toll Plaza. Moments later, Bolt and the two women were helped from the wreckage by passers-by and taken to hospital. It's understood that the sports car had been a gift to Bolt from Puma, his shoes and apparel sponsor. Nadine McLeod, TVJ News.
And as word of Usain Bolt's accident spread locally, several people turned up at the Spanish Town Hospital to find out what happened. The anxiety wasn't confined to our shores. Sports fans around the world were hitting up the internet for any information they could find on the Jamaican superstar. Camille Gale reports.
Within minutes of the accident, the World Wide Web was buzzing with preliminary details. A simple Google search produced almost 400 hits from across the world. This New Zealand website, which was one of the first to alert the world to the accident, quoted Reuters, which said a source at the hospital told them Bolt was being treated for minor injuries. Meanwhile, NBC website Universal Sports said a police source told the Associated Press that Bolt was apparently speeding on a rain-slick highway when he crashed. And within a couple hours after the accident, the USA Today website quoted Bolt's manager Norman Peart, saying the athlete only sustained minor scratches from thorn bushes when he stepped out of the car on the side of the road. But if you were a fan clamoring for information and English wasn't your first language, then you wouldn't have been left out, as the details were also available in French, German, Dutch, and several other languages. Meanwhile, back home, the Spanish Town Hospital was brimming with onlookers minutes after Usain Bolt arrived. One woman said even though she was ill, she just had to find out if the triple Olympic champion was okay.
I went into the emergency room because I have a situation going on, and instantly as I saw him, I knew that he was Usain Bolt. The friendly person as he was, I went and told him that I'm in my dilemma too, and I'm sharing my condolences. Said that he's okay. I say, you good boss? I say, yeah man, I just piece of maca. I never said turn to the youth cool. I say, I just piece of maca, I step on me toe scrape.
However, others, while happy that Usain was just fine, were even more elated that they got a chance to hold the shirt he was wearing. Camille Gale, TVJ News.
He's alive and well, okay? The World Health Organization.
Thanks so much for staying with us, and a special welcome to you on Hot 102 and on the internet at cvmtv.com. Now the world was again glued to activities surrounding Usain Bolt, only this time it was off the track as the world triple record holder was involved in an accident earlier this afternoon. It's not sure what time Bolt was clocking on the speedometer of his BMW M3 high performer along the accommodating stage of Highway 2000, but the fastest man on earth who was behind the wheels and his two female passengers found themselves upside down in a trench. The luxury sports car, a gift from Puma, fulfilling Bolt's dreams for his 22nd birthday, now reduced to a fragment of the eye-popping spectacle revered like its owner. Less than halfway through the comprehensive insurance coverage offer from Advantage General, a mangled tab. CVM News understands the trio was nearing the toll booth heading back to the corporate area when the high-risk mix of wet asphalt, acceleration and a baby that can fly did. Bolt and his friends escaped serious injuries, and although the athlete suffered cuts to his toes, it's not expected to impede his mobility or his speed, much to the relief of a nation and no doubt to BMW, which among other things in its crash tests prides itself on its holistic approach to safety, from the just-in-case to after an impact, measurements in place to improve the emergency rescue and personal activities to get persons out of the car as quickly as possible and off to the hospital. And you'll hear more about Usain's unfortunate accident later in Sports Watch.
Sports Watch. Welcome back to Sports Watch Wednesday. My name is Wayne Walker. Jamaica's Olympic triple champion, world record holder Usain Bolt escaped a serious injury after his spanking new BMW M3 veered off the Highway 2000 and ended up in a ditch. Bolt was traveling with two friends who also suffered slight injuries in the accident. Following the accident, Bolt was rushed to the Spanish Town Hospital where he underwent several tests and a bandage applied to a cut he suffered to the big toe on his right foot and two other minor ones on the left. The star of Beijing finally emerged from the emergency ward after about 2 hours and into the arms of his aunt. How are you feeling now?
I'm good, man. I'm alright. Alright, I have a few cuts, man. I'm good, man.
How it am?
I'm good. We talk, man. We talk. Yeah, man. We talk. We talk, alright?
Yeah, sure.
We talk. Alright. Let's do some alright, man.
The fastest man in the world is scheduled to run at the Jamaica International Invitational on Saturday. So, will he?
I don't know. You have to talk to my coach about that. We talk to my coach. But we talk, man. We talk. Alright, boss?
You're happy that not now?
We too. Yeah, man. Definitely. Alright.
The car, which was a write-off, was given to Bolt as a birthday gift by his kit sponsor, Puma. It has a value of close to $16 million and was specifically made for Bolt to fit his height and body structure. He was given special driving lessons at BMW's testing facility in Germany at least a month before it was finally delivered to him on February 12 this year by local agents Stewart's Auto. And of course, Bolt was late this evening at a private facility here in Kingston for further assessment.
Expressed on sports commentary are not necessarily those of TVJ.
The circumstances and reality of the big news this evening put sports commentary in a philosophical mood as we reflect on our national treasure, Usain Bolt, from his days as a gangly, unassuming, yet supremely talented young athlete representing William Knibb High School at Champs, then his rise to even greater prominence after his stunning gold medal run as a 15-year-old at the World Junior Championships in front of an ecstatic home crowd. Then, with the expectations of an entire nation resting on his slender shoulders, injuries and misfortune came his way as Bolt's early performances and reputation as a senior fizzed. But cometh the Olympic Games in Beijing, China, and cometh the time to shine of Usain Lightning Bolt as the giant phenom righted all the wrongs to take the Olympics by storm, with world record performances in the 100, 200 and 4x1 relay to indelibly etch his and Jamaica's name in the annals of sprinting and Olympic history. And then, to today's experience, to lose control of one of the fastest machines available to man on a wet and slippery highway, the big boom and the bang, to walk away from all that with basically nothing but a few thorns in his toe. We see this as a message. This is a wake-up call for Usain Bolt to sit back, give thanks, and refocus. Your journey is not yet complete. There are still more battles to be won, still more mountains to climb. We say, let today be the beginning of the rest of your life. Heed the call and leave your folly ways behind.